Hey, Mr. Cumbee, before I start my speech, I just want to say thank you so much for being understanding during this time. I I shouldn't make any excuses. I was honestly procrastinating my speeches, and I shouldn't have a month late speech when I totally could have recorded it. I have everything prepped for all of them. And I do apologize ahead of time if I have multiple weird pauses in the video, because it's hard for me to be without distractions. We got a new puppy, which, yeah, that's my choice. And she kind of demands to go in and out. So I will be trying to pause and minimize as much distractions through it, but it's hard to do this without any distractions unless I do it at 11 o'clock at night. Thank you for being so understanding. The United States is the only industrialized country that does not require a second language class taught in schools, while only 10 states requiring it. Weird. Learning a useful second language while getting an education is important to the development and culture of human beings. Learning a second language increases cognitive abilities and test scores, boosts opportunities and qualifications for jobs, and teaches culture along with it that allows students to be open to new things and their understanding of the world. Now, if you heard that learning a second language improves your intellect and test scores, you would want to learn one. Learning a second language in classes or even outside increases ability to switch between tasks, like multitasking, forces you to think deeper into meaning and grammar while also trying to think in a new way. So if your thought process is more sentence structured, it forces you to think in more pictures and abstract thought. Tests show that students with 20 to 60 minutes of a foreign language class improved their spelling, vocab, and grammar in both their first and second language. Also, bilingual people become resistant to dementia and Alzheimer's diseases because their memory is improved. Learning a second language increases intelligence levels. Third grade students received a 30-minute Spanish lesson 3 times a week for one semester. They scored higher in math and language tests than the students who did not receive extra Spanish lessons. Decision-making skills are improved along with primary language skills and concentration skills. Students who translate for family members also score higher on tests. Students who studied language in high school also score better in college, which is good news. It also increases the skill to think abstractly and non-verbally. It benefits all students. It benefited lower and middle class students as they were not left behind, which can be a common problem that we see with any lower class students. So for them to have something that can benefit them more and propel them forward in the working class or just school in general is amazing. While benefiting middle to lower class students, this could be an advantage for them in the job market to communicate with others. Knowing a second language is useful or even required in some jobs. Obviously, if you're a translator, that's required. If you work at a hospital, for example, in Sioux Falls, knowing Spanish can be really helpful if you're a doctor in speaking with patients or family members. Knowing a second language in the job force can also lead to higher wages because of that useful extra skill, and it leads to more job opportunities. If there are two candidates with the same credentials, the one with the second language will most likely win out for a job. And also, knowing a second language allows the ability to travel and understand in more places. So if you know Spanish, you are able to travel to 20 some more countries. You're always able to travel to a lot of countries, but you're able to understand in 20 some more countries if you know the language. Understanding other people can go past just being able to speak their language. Knowing another language also kind of requires you in learning the similar culture. For example, in Japanese, you have to learn multiple formal tenses to be able to speak to elders or people in a higher position than you. It also opens up people to new cultures. It can make them more understanding of the world. A study between bilingual and monolingual second grade students allowed that students favored more cultures if they spoke more than one language. It also makes it more difficult to be prejudiced about other cultures. All in all, there are many amazing opportunities from learning a second language. Learning a useful second language while getting an education is important to the development and culture of human beings. Learning a second language increases the cognitive abilities and test scores, boosts opportunities and qualifications for jobs, and learning the culture with it allows students to be open to new things and their understanding of the world. Puedes hablar y aprender con más personas. You're able to talk and learn with more people.